My roommate says the AC gives her anxiety. We live in a swamp. How do I get her to leave it on? I, 28F, live with two other women, 27 and 33, in an extremely humid city. All utilities are included in our rent. The 27-year-old and I keep the AC on a reasonable temperature, but every time we turn it on, the 33-year-old comes out of her room and turns it off. When we talk to her, she has given every reason in the book. She says it gives her anxiety and she has to study. It's so cold it's making her sick. It's too loud. She just refuses to leave it on. I know it's not unreasonably cold because I'm way too skinny, so I am always the cold one. I wear gloves in the office during winter time because that is how cold I get. I shiver when everyone else is fine. The 27-year-old says she's going to move out if this doesn't get resolved because it's ridiculous. Which it is. But I don't want her to do that. How do we resolve this? 2 against 1. If she doesn't like it, tell her to stay in her room. She can close the vent in her room. Or she can split the cost of a standing, window AC unit for your room. Or she can wear earmuffs. Or you can run it for 1 hour on, 1 hour off. Or as a last resort, you have all winter to talk about who should move out. Can you bring the landlord into this? Swampy places need to have the AC on to avoid damaging mold and humidity in the room. Since all utilities are included with rent, tell her to buy herself a heater for her room. Or tell her to close the vent in her room so the air doesn't come in there. Considering she's the only one who has a problem with it. If she refuses, then she can kick rocks. Because any solution you try to come up with, she'll find another reason to go against it. Seems like she's lacking control in her life and having the final say so with the AC is all she's got. Ah ha ha. Get squirt gun and say, no, firmly while squirting her in the face when she touches the dial. Old school Pavlovian teaching. You and the 27-year-old tell the 33-year-old to stop touching the thermostat or you will both leave. She's horrible. You need to ditch her. I also live in the humid heat. Only a horrible person wouldn't use the AC. Tell her she needs therapy. Help her get that. If she does not get help, move her out. Find an apartment with the 27-year-old and let the queen of excuses find her own place to live. Do you guys have a lease to break? A very weird conspiracy theory, but is it possible that she wants you two to move out of the house? Is she looking for someone else to rent with her? Maybe it's her tactic to chase her roommates away so that the space can be made available to her. Closed ones? Did you talk to the landlord about this? Has she always been like this since you moved? TBH, my assumptions sound a little far-fetched to me. But they can be a possible reason for such weird and problematic behavior. I assume you have separate rooms? So until you can move out, get window, mobile ACs. I realize this is at cost to you, but frankly, if this is the hill she wants to die on, it is only going to exhaust you more trying to fight her. What else can you do? Stand at the thermostat with a bat ready to yell at her? She doesn't care. Get a window unit. Ideally one with multi-purpose like a dehumidifier or a fan. And move out when you can. Now I'm curious as to what your AC is set at. Thinking face. It's a myth that you get sick when it's cold. You get sick from viruses and bacteria, not temperature. She can put a hoodie and sweatpants on. A blanket even. She might be able to close her vents that are in her room. Or block them. Not sure how safe that is, so research. She's being unreasonable. This is coming from someone who does not like the AC and is always bundled up in something warm. If it's too cold, you can put on more clothes to stay warmer. If it's too hot, you can only remove so much clothing. Tell her to pound sand. My roommate and I had an issue like this as well. Come to find out, her room is just naturally way too cold and mine was naturally way too hot. There was something wrong with the AC pipes. Like the air was going to her room first and then coming to my room, so see if you can fix it through this. Also, for most air vents you can close them by moving the little lever to the other side. Ask your roommate to do this for her room and it shouldn't feel too cold. They make thermostat lock boxes. You screw the frame into the wall around your wall unit and pop the cover on over it. It come with a key lock too, so you can lock it up and she can't mess with it. How cold are you setting it? Left me curious because I don't know whose side to be on. I'm always the cold one, but you said you were too, but still, what if you aren't really a real always the cold one and she is rolling on the floor laughing? I just gotta know the temperature, lol. Turn the AC on. If she turns it off, turn it back on. Repeat until it escalates to physical violence, at which point it's 2-on-1. To the victor. Go the spoils. There's a reason most groups of people that need to learn to live together tend to agree on a majority rules style of governance, be it 300 million people or 3. Thermostat lockbox, and make sure you and other roomie have the keys and keep them on you where she can't get them. One person doesn't get to make the rest of the roommates miserable. 2/3 of the people paying rent are miserable for the comfort of one. So unless she wants to pay 2/3 of the rent and y'all split the 1/3 she pays. Buy your roommate a space heater and noise-canceling headphones. Inform your landlord that she is causing a hostile and physically unsafe home environment. Tell her to get therapy for her anxiety and that it's 2 against 1 and she can fuck the right off. Don't be passive-aggressive about it. Be very clear. The AC stays on. Period. If she doesn't like it, then she should just fucking move out. Turn the thermostat to 65 and sit beside it so she can't turn it off. She will give up eventually. I live in SETX. My AC runs 12 months out of the year. It had a problem in July and wasn't fixed for 16 hours and it got 90+ degrees in my house.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Ericast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.